Ballots for Metro Vancouver's transportation plebiscite are being mailed out today. More than 1.5 million people across the region are eligible to vote. That includes people living in Lions Bay and Bowen Island, all the way to Langley, Maple Ridge, Pitt Meadows, and all points in between. The plan we're voting on calls for $7.5 billion to be spent on new and improved roads and transit service. That will be paid for by a 0.5% increase to the PST.
The traditionally bindings may or may not be binding on government. It depends on how the legislation or the regulation is written. My understanding is that the Minister of Transportation and Infrastructure has said that they will abide by the outcome of the vote.
This is what the ballots look like. If you don't receive your package containing your voting card, you have until May the 15th to request one from Elections BC. Residents have to mail in their vote by May the 29th, with the results expected in June. Now, we are also having both sides of the campaign coming up in our 8 o'clock hour here on BT. We've got Jordan Bateman and Bill Tillman representing both sides, talking with Riaz at about 8:15 this morning. Now, you're not just voting for more buses and SkyTrain service in this transit plebiscite. Disabled people are hoping that you keep them in mind when marking your ballot. The Handy Dart Riders Alliance is lobbying for a yes vote. The service would get a 30% increase over the next decade. That's given hope to the elderly and mobility-challenged people who use it.
It will also mitigate isolation. Because if the demand for that service is there, and if the capacity is not there to meet it, that will result in more and more people feeling isolated in their own homes. And I would hate to see that happen.
A major vaccination campaign is planned for a school in Surrey today. The day-long clinic will happen at the gym at Northridge Elementary after a hepatitis A outbreak. Several students and staff have been infected recently. The Fraser Health Authority has sent a letter to parents about its health concerns. It wants parents and students to be aware of the symptoms, which include diarrhea, vomiting, and jaundice. Long-term impacts can include liver failure and even death. Police are investigating a pair of fatal stabbings on Vancouver's downtown east side. Residents of the West Hotel are speaking out about conditions at the building on Carroll Street. 2 men were killed there on Saturday night. No arrests have been made so far. Tenants have complained about security since the building was taken over by the Community Builders Group months ago. Residents are demanding a 24/7 presence at the front desk to protect against the drug trade and other crime.
We have a lot of elderly people in the building, people that have been here, 10 years or more. And, they used to live here. It was safe and it was quiet. And in a neighborhood like this, that's saying a lot. Now, without anybody tending to the front desk, whatever you see outside is happening inside.
Earlier this month, a man was stabbed at the building, but he survived that attack. Well, there's still one more day to go until St. Patrick's Day, but the atmosphere was decidedly green in downtown Vancouver yesterday. Thousands of people packed the street for the 11th annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. They were treated to lots of tunes from an array of pipe and drum bands and Celtic musicians. Some 2,000 people took part in this year's parade, not including the four-legged variety. They were well represented with horse and dog teams walking the parade routes.
By and large, my Irish heritage, my wife's Italian, but she supports me, and we just love this parade. The enthusiasm of the kids, all that. It's just so much fun.
We're on holiday from Ireland, so we decided to come over for Paddy's Week to see how it's done over here. It's very similar to the old school parades. It's cool seeing all like the pipers and the dancers and stuff.
We are from Tokyo and we don't have this kind of culture, so that's why we thought that this is unique to wear this kind of costume today.
We want to be just hardcore as Canadian.
Yeah.
She just arrived here today?
Yeah, it's my second day here. I'm from Brazil, so it's really nice to be here and enjoy with us.
From Philippines.
Now, many of us might be working, but St. Paddy's events as part of Celtic Fest continue through Vancouver tomorrow. St. Patrick's Day is also being celebrated in Rio de Janeiro. Here at the city's iconic Christ the Redeemer statue, lit in Irish green. The statue, which is usually lit bright white, glowed a brilliant green from its perch overlooking the beachside city last night. The event also marked 40 years of bilateral relations between Brazil and Ireland.